The following video may contain foul language, dark humor, voiceovers, and spoilers for the subject matter. No copyright infringement intended. Please support the artist and writers of this comic series and purchase your own copies for the full story.
Greetings, wicked peoples. Once again, Fishie 22.8 here, and now we have issue 3 of IDW and Darkhorse's Transformers vs. the Terminator. Issue 3 opens up with the glowing, soulless eyes of the Terminator as he watches the Autobots try to drag Grimlock over to be repaired.
You sure you got him, B?
Yeah, no problem, RC. Sarah, can you just lift him? Just a little bit. I think he's getting caught on something. As the little Autobot and even smaller human try to lug the largest of the Autobot corpses. Trying to get the attention of the Terminator unit, Sarah asks, "Can you lend a hand?" And then she finally asks, "What is the Terminator's name?" The machine simply responds, "Cyberdyne Systems Model 101, Series 800. But he shortens it down to Terminator Unit. Finally letting RC help, Bumblebee and her move Grimlock out of the way as Ratchet informs Optimus of their situation. "Things aren't good, Prime. I think we've gotten every Autobot functioning that we can. Everyone else needs extensive repairs and more energon to get them back on their feet. Unfortunate, but understood. Wheeljack, what systems do we have operational?"
Well, most things are functional except one Teletram probe that's mysteriously offline. Unless you wanted to go anywhere, the Ark isn't going to be moving anytime soon. Even if we do get an energon influx, those Decepticons really knew what they were doing when they ransacked the place, Prime.
Always looking at the bright side, Optimus turns to his Autobots and says, "No, Wheeljack, I don't think they did. They left two of the finest medics and the greatest engineer in the Autobots unscathed. If anything, they left the exact right team to fix the Autobots and the Ark. Now, Wheeljack, see if you can use local transmissions to get any information on Megatron's location. Ratchet, continue your work. The rest of you, with me. I have an idea." As Optimus and his Autobots depart, Velocity asks him,
So where are we going, Optimus? Aren't I better served helping Ratchet?
"We're going to find the Decepticons. If we're in such dire need of energon ourselves, we can only assume they have an equal, if not greater, need."
And with our resources spread so thin, you need my help finding energon sources. I get it. Count me in.
Bringing up the rear of this small ragtag team of mechanical and human creatures, Bumblebee and Sarah Connor are conversing. Sarah asks Bumblebee what he did before the war. Bumblebee said he was in search and rescue. Then he asks Sarah, "Are you a warrior like RC?" due to her pink uniform and RC's pink coloring. Sarah responds, "No, she's a waitress," which confuses Bumblebee. But their conversation is halted by RC as Optimus begins to tell them what the plan is. "We'll divide into teams to begin our search for the Decepticons. Velocity and I will investigate potential energon sources. Bumblebee, take Sarah home. This isn't her fight. RC, take our robotic friend around the perimeter. Let's make sure the Decepticons didn't leave any surprises for us."
Right. We'll do a sweep.
As RC transforms into her car mode, she tells the Terminator to get in. It simply tells her, "I do not have any weapons."
Now you're speaking my language that I can help with.
As the rest of the Cybertronians transform into their vehicle modes, Optimus yells, "Autobots, roll out!" Back at Cyberdyne Systems. "Excellent, excellent. Starscream was correct for once. These creatures are pitiful. All the more reason to bring in a new order." As Thundercracker comes in with new reports from the field.
Starscream's rounding up the humans and is interrogating them. Tell me, your superior, the Hunter, seems to know all about Cybertronians. I'll help you deactivate your incompetent leader, and in return, you'll help me with mine.
The confused humans respond. They don't work for a hunter?
No? Well, that's an unfortunate misunderstanding. For you. Soundwave and refractor are transferring the electricity from a plant into energon.
Analysis. Facility drained the 40% power. And more energon cubes will drain it completely.
As one copy of Refractor takes another energon cube from Soundwave's chest, the other corpse.
Really? All this work for barely any energon? What sort of planet is this? Skywarp's on lookout and hasn't seen any signs of Autobots or local resistance. No lead on that wretch yet, but who better to find an insect than the Decepticons?
As the three creepy crawly insect bots start eating everything in sight.
Delicious. Remember, we are looking for a robotics lab, not just a sweet, sweet snack. Let them burrow deep. We will find them and have a more filling meal.
The ever-increasingly irritated tyrannical leader tells his subordinate.
I want its kind found and exterminated, Thundercracker. Think. It knew where to find us as we awoke. It defiled my visage. I will not allow an enemy that knows so much about us to continue, nor will I let his impertinence go unanswered. And once we're done with this small resistance, we shall eliminate Prime and his soldiers and be victorious. Nothing's going to stand in my way.
Coming across the Decepticon encampment and the destroyed dune buggy, as Velocity starts analyzing the area, Optimus says, I fear you're right, Velocity. We must find Megatron and prevent more loss, and we're already too late. As Bumblebee and Sarah Connor hit the store so Sarah can change out of her waitress outfit and into something a little bit more comfortable, they try to figure out what is going on next. Sarah turns on Bumblebee's radio and they hear reports of a terrorist attack at Cyberdyne systems in the area. As RC and the Terminator enter the armory of the Ark, the Pink Warrior quips,
You know, I think you've picked up on the fact that most Autobots aren't soldiers. They're doctors, engineers, bots who just want to do the right thing. But that doesn't mean that we aren't well armed for when we need to be.
as she opens up drawers upon drawers of weaponry for the tiny Terminator.
And you can be too. Optimus wouldn't have let you stay if he didn't trust you. So go ahead, pick something nice, and I'm sure Teletran can format it down to something for your size.
As RC draws one of her swords, she tells the Terminator,
But I swear, if you try to turn one of these on an Autobot, you'll find out just how much experience as a warrior I have.
both machines locking optics, the Terminator quirps. Threat acknowledged. But I swear, before this is done, you'll find out just how much experience as a warrior I have. As the Autobot and Time Traveler leave the Ark to go on a perimeter check, the Terminator is sneaking out explosives every so often. The two eventually come across the destroyed Teletran probe. RC inquires about it. The Terminator's response is short and sweet. It scanned me. Suddenly, RC gets a message from Bumblebee.
Calling all Autobots! Sarah and I think we got a lead on the Decepticons. Scouting now, but backup would be appreciated.
We then cut to Bumblebee and Sarah sitting on a ridgeline and spying on the Decepticons.
Looks like they've secured some energon cubes, caused some mayhem, and captured humans. I think they're getting ready to leave, Sarah. I have to go stall them until the rest of the Autobots get here. It's probably best you stay here.
As the patrolling Skywarp teleports in behind Bumblebee.
Surprise!
Bumblebee scoops up Sarah, and as he transforms to escape the Seeker, Skywarp starts to give chase. Crashing through the front gate of Cyberdyne and hitting straight for the Decepticon leader, Bumblebee attempts to have Skywarp crash into Megatron. Surprisingly, the Seeker is smart enough not to smash into his leader, and as he quips about how it's a nice trick, the Terminator blasts the Seeker out of the sky.
We got your signal, Bumblebee. Now let Prime! You still dare defy me? Prepare to die! Decepticons! Attack!
The tyrannical leader screams at the top of his lungs as Soundwave blasts Bumblebee with an acoustic blast. RC jumps up and spears Thundercracker with her swords. Optimus barely blocks Megatron's flail with his Energon axe.
I see why you didn't want to fight me earlier, Megatron. You're old. Yesterday's model. Ready for the scrap heap. And you resort to petty taunts when you know you're outmatched. Make no mistake, Prime. You'll be on the scrap heap of history soon.
Taking a direct blow from the flail.
One shall stand, one shall fall. Fool! You throw away your life so reckless.
The tyrant is cut off as Optimus slams him hard with the Energon axe. Staring down the Terminator, Refractor tells it,
Bring it, Pipsqueak.
The Terminator simply throws one of the bombs that he was throwing around the Ark earlier at Refractor's face, and then presses the button. Back at the Ark, Wheeljack interrupts Ratchet repairing the Autobots.
Ratchet, we got trouble. I think they need our help. How long do you think they can hold out? If we can get a little bit more juice from the Ark, we can bring actual reinforcements.
As the two Autobots hear beeping throughout the Ark, the Autobot spaceship and every single spark on board is obliterated in a massive explosion. Refractor's head explodes from the explosion. Velocity just turns to the Terminator and says, "Nice job," unknowingly celebrating the termination of all of her friends. As the Terminator responds to her, Starscream opens fire with his null ray, grabbing the attention of our mechanical protagonist.
Don't make another move, insect. I figured out your secret. If I destroy the flesh bags, you cease to exist. So, let's cut a deal.
As Starscream holds one null ray to the Terminator, and the other to all of the humans inside Cyberdyne systems. And that concludes issue 3 of Transformers vs. the Terminator from Darkhorse and IDW. I hope you're enjoying this series so far. There's one more issue to cover, and it wraps things up relatively nicely, in my opinion. It left it open for a sequel series, but I don't think that's ever going to happen, unfortunately. As always with this series, there is art in the back that is really, really cool, done by really talented artists. If you want to experience that and the half a page, maybe page that I glossed over entirely because I really couldn't do the dialogue, then please get a physical or digital copy for yourself. And as always, this is Fishie 22.8, logging off. Later, wicked peoples. And if you've made it this far in the video, I want to thank you for almost 1,000 subscribers so far. So thank you from the bottom of my little plastic heart. Please leave a like on the video, and if you don't do that, please comment what your favorite part of these things are. I'm curious. Thank you.